disclaimer, normally I would have dyed the leather beforehand before I started working with it, but because I wanted to go ahead and get the video done, I did it reverse. So if you're gonna do your own leather belt or any leather goods, I would suggest dyeing it to the color you need it to first. Makes things a little easier. If not, you can do it this way. When you're gonna work, put down painter's paper or some sort of protective surface so the dye does not go through to your table. You do not want to ruin any furniture. Wear gloves and make sure you have all the safety equipment. So the first thing we're going to do is take a rag and some alcohol, you know, the 100% or 70% alcohol, and wipe down the leather. You don't have to soak it, just you want it all wiped down. This just kind of gets anything that might be on the leather off of it so you don't get any real discolorations when you're working with it. Put a little bit too much there. I'm going to do both sides. And if you have any rough spots on the rough side of the leather, you can take some sandpaper to it just to lightly get rid of it. But we are going to be sealing the back of the leather so that it doesn't rub off. Ooh, alcohol all over the floor. So it doesn't rub off on the clothes so much and doesn't make so much of a mess on my costume. So therefore, there we go. First step done. Wipe the leather down. So what you're going to do is you're going to use, well, I'm using an oil-based leather dye. You're going to take your sponge, get it all nice and ooky. Make sure if you're using a big bottle like this, just make a little small hole on the top. Don't make a large one, otherwise you'll dip and everywhere. I like to do the edges first because that kind of makes everything a little easier. I'm moving the ring out of the way in order to get in there. And you see how I have that little pale piece of leather? That's kind of why you want to dye your leather first so you don't get that. But I'll probably take a brush to that later. If you'll notice, I've been using a makeup sponge, and some people use cotton balls. I prefer either, you know, these triangular makeup sponges. The round ones really work the best because they really soak up the dye, and cotton balls, as you can see here, they have all those residue, and that will catch on the leather and leave it behind so you can have streaks, and it doesn't always make a clean dye job. So then I'm going to start doing the, I'm dropping the sponge. I'm going to start doing the rest of it. You can either wipe or dab. That depends on your comfort level. And you can come back if you have, you know, put the belt or whatever you're working on together first. You can come back and wipe off the metal pieces. So don't really worry about covering those so much yet. Just do a good coat of the dye, and then as it dries you can come back and add more to pieces where you may not have gotten so much coverage. I like personally the swiping method rather than dabbing. It's just me, but I just think it goes a little bit quicker. You also want to be doing this in a well ventilated area because some of the paint does have fumes. So now the mess has been made and it's all been covered in the black oil dye. We're going to let it dry and then we'll seal it. And this is the completed belt.